Today, I've got a really special keyboard. This thing is budget friendly. I'm super excited about it. It comes with a build guide in the form of a QR code, which I haven't really experienced from any other keyboard company as of yet. Boom, QR code. This is the GAS67 keyboard build guide. What I have here today is called the Custom Keys Sigma Keyboard Kit. It is a 99 pounds if you're in the UK for everything you see, which is switches, keycaps, and the base kit itself. In America, here where we use USD, it is $122 for everything with free shipping to the US and UK. This is a kit, so you do have to put it together. A little bit of effort here involved. I don't know what color I got today, so I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna scan this QR code because I love following build guides, and I know you do too. If you don't, well, you probably should. Box number 1 is labeled number 1, box number 3 labeled 3, and box number 2 is labeled number 2. Yeah, quite simple. Let's open up box number 1. Whoa, please tell me I don't have to do stabilizers. We've got some stabilizer housing and stabilizer bars, so looks like I will have to do some stabilizers. Also has a simple coiled cable. You know, I appreciate that it's like actually straight. Oh, yeah, okay, there's actual building involved. This is not a toolless build. Gaskets, screws, tools, GAS 67 or CIY 67 instruction manual or guide, the keyboard kit itself, sort of, the PCB, which is hot swap, a keycap and switch puller, and a screwdriver, which is nice. It's nice to have this. It's a hex screw, very tiny, but I won't be using any of that because I will be using my own tools. All right, if I were a complete beginner and I opened all of this, now what? We're doing stabilizers first, so we just ignore its entire thing. On the build guide, he didn't lube or anything, so I'm not going to, but in the end, if it sounds real bad, we're gonna syringe lube that thing because that is a cheap mod that I advise anybody and everybody to do. So 8 housings, 3 short bars, 1 long bar. It's very simple. Crack them in. A little tight the way it is right now. I think it'll be a little rattly, but that's okay. We get to see the keyboard in its completely stock form, and these are PCB clip-ins, so that's cool. Haven't seen that in a while. There's no screw involved, which saves you time. And what's nice about the housing or the stem is that it's already flat, so you don't have to clip anything. Remember back in the old days where stabilizers had like this extra bit just hanging out and you had to always use flush cutters? I'm glad things have changed. Next is the PCB. I wonder if the company is CIY and then the keyboard or the PCB is named GAS67. I think so. The guide says you don't just clip in. No. There's more steps. We've got these bad boys, which are stabilizer pads, sort of like the Band-Aid mod back in the olden days where you would put a Band-Aid underneath your stabilizer. You can see that each one has a big dot and a small dot. The big dot goes towards the smaller hole, which is confusing actually. Why wouldn't they do it the opposite way? This thing's quite thick too, bigger than a Band-Aid. Yeah, small dot goes towards the big hole and big dot goes towards the small hole. If I wasn't on top of it today, I probably would mess that up. And then for clip-ins, no, these aren't clip-ins. These are screw-ins. Where are the screws? The blue bag is for your stabilizers because blue stabilizers, blue bag, which means I'm gonna need a screwdriver. Also, if you aren't fancy like me and use your iFixit toolkit, the screwdriver that comes with the keyboard kit, that's the one that you're gonna use. So very easy, all-in-one keyboard building kit. I dig it so far. I dig it. The keyboard space has just changed so much. So many more options now, where you don't only have to buy these really expensive things or these super generic cases. Like there's so many options coming out all the time, and it is overwhelming. It's super overwhelming. Oh, it just fell. When I was a beginner, I had no idea. So I'm really glad that there are streamlined ways that someone could get into this hobby and just buy something once and learn like how do you put stabilizers together, where are the different holes. There's a lot of things to learn. Usually stabilizers use Phillips screws, but this one uses a hex screw, which I think the person who designed this keyboard, they just wanted the builder to have one screwdriver and not constantly be changing out bits from like a Phillips one to a small hex one to like a bigger hex one. It's thoughtful. I appreciate simplicity. I appreciate the finer things in life as well, you know, the fancy stuff of the world that you've seen me build, but I also appreciate a place for people who don't want to spend like a month's paycheck on a keyboard. I don't talk about this much, but back in the day, you know, in college, I was getting paid like $8.25 an hour. And I got a raise, went to $8.50 an hour. So it wasn't like a huge raise. And then I became manager. And the raise? $9.25, a whole dollar more than when I started. This keyboard, this specific kit, 122, that's a lot of hours. That's 14 hours, and if you put on taxes, that's like 2 whole days of work. So you know, it's a lot. Now that I got this part done, what is next? Oh. I don't know what this funny shape is. Okay, next part, you take this case apart. Okay, there's no screws holding it closed yet. Holy cow, what are we looking at? Okay, we got a daughter board. Grab your PCB, place your switch dampening path over the top, aligning it with your stabilizers, and cut. This is a great guide. This one needs to be cut. For some reason, it's just a little bit warped, just slightly. This weird little guy goes right here. Align this guy on top. This guy's the space bar dampener. It looks like we're doing switches. So align your plate on top. Open box number 2. We got 2 bags here. One is a tactile switch, a silent tactile switch. The other is a red linear pre-lubed. I'm going with red linears. So these are Wuche Studio switches, and this keyboard is north facing. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to put my spacebar guy on first, or else he keeps falling off. So it is north facing, but it's got RGB, and some people like north facing, you know? North facing is great on a budget. I don't really have any opinions on interference. I've never really experienced it. This kit also comes with keycaps, so you don't have to worry about anything. So what I'm using here are called Wuche Studio Reds, or WS Reds. They are linear. Their top housing and bottom housing is made of white nylon. They've got a red palm stem. The total travel is 3.8 millimeters. Actuation force is 55 grams, so relatively lightweight, and bottom mount is 67 grams. So the spring type is a 22 millimeter double stage spring, which is interesting because you do feel a resistance after you exceed the point of actuation. It makes it so you don't bottom out as much when you are typing, and you totally can if you want to. It just makes it so that you don't like slam all your keys super easily like a yellow or a lightweight switch. Along with these reds, they also have heavy tactiles. They have silent tactiles, and they have a yellow, which is a linear. So if you're looking for a clicky variant, that doesn't exist yet, and I don't think there are a ton of people that want a clicky option. I think if you want a clicky option, there are plenty of keyboards out there in the world that you can find that are clicky. There should be 70 switches, so that means I have maybe 3 extras, which is good because sometimes I bend these legs like crazy to the point where it's almost impossible to get it to repair and then go back into the socket without, you know, making damage on your keyboard, which is bad. We don't want that. No damage. So extras are always appreciated. Boom. Switches are in. 3 extras. Am I a know-it-all? No, I can count. Next are pour-on gaskets. It goes here. 3 on each side. They're not super sticky. Yeah, they're not super duper sticky. Hopefully it'll stay. If not, I'm sure the case will make it stay. On the sides, looks like we're using small pieces. Don't know why we didn't just use a large piece, but I like to follow instructions. Flip it over and repeat. All right. I think this would have been easier to do if the PCB wasn't here and in the way. I have big chubby fingers too. There's like an exact number of small ones, so do not mess that up. And then as for the big ones, you can mess up 4 times. Nice. That's done. Where does this guy go? He goes right here. Hey, I think that might be it. Let's make sure it works. Ooh, Yeah. My escape key doesn't want to go back up. Oh no. This is why you get extras. Look at this guy. He's stuck. Okay, number 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5 doesn't work. Caps lock doesn't work. This time I actually repair it. Arrow key, whatever this is, doesn't work. And left and right doesn't work. More keys than I expected to go wrong. Ooh, this one's bad. This one's bent like a limp noodle. According to the key tester, everything works now. I'm pretty sure I could screw the case closed now. And we also have to apply feet and kick up feet. Push that in. The case screws. Only big issue that I've seen with this keyboard so far is that the case screws got messed up real fast. Like I wasn't even spinning very hard and they're just stripped real fast. But at least now they are closed enough to the point where I'm okay with it. Like the keyboard's not just gonna fall apart, but it's also not super tight in its place either. You have to put the foam into the feet and you're basically done. All that's left are keycaps, which is box number 3. But while I'm here, let me just zoom this up a little. Gotta be real careful with this keycap packaging. Keycaps are cool though, for sure. These keycaps are nice and sleek looking. This could be a really cool like present that you get for a first time keyboard builder duo project or something. Get your significant other into keyboard by picking out a cool keyboard kit to build. Alright, here we are. Plug back in the RGB. Okay, so the case is like sort of screwed in mostly, but it did strip a little bit. It works great. It works fine. Let's do the typing test. It actually sounds good. So yeah, that was the typing test. You can check out the keyboard. So it's called customkeys.com and this keyboard is called the Sigma. You can look it up here with kits. So what I built today was the Sigma. It's $122 for the base kit, the stabilizers, keycaps, and switches. They also have different colors like this, the Neo keyboard kit, and this one, the Harmony keyboard kit. Perfect for somebody who's just getting into keyboards. So let's look at the included in the box. You get switches, keycap set, USB-C cable, you get a PCB case, you get everything pretty much. So very cool, very easy to build, suitable for beginners, and they ship within like a week, so very fast. If you are interested, you can pick it up and I'll link it in the description. The RGB is really nice. I mean, look at that. You can get something a little bit better, a little bit worse. It looks very nice. I really dig it. I'll put it in the link in the description, and thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. Successful people dedicate a portion of their day every day to improving themselves and learning new skills. Since I want to be a successful person, I use Brilliant.org to learn. Thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. Brilliant is the best way to learn new skills such as math or computer science interactively. They make it super easy. There are thousands of lessons and you can start learning as a complete beginner or refresh your skills if you're advanced. With the world changing with improved AI, you can learn about how these processes work by taking lessons with Brilliant on data science and neural networks. I've been focused on something called the uncertainty of knowledge lately. Yes, that is a real lesson, and it's taken my brain on a fun trip with lots of loops and turns. I love how interactive it is, and I really love these simple explanations, especially when I get confused. To try everything that Brilliant has to offer, use the link brilliant.org/switch-and-click for a free 30-day trial. The first 200 of you will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. You can also use the link down below.